What's up guys, I hope you're all doing well. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Hiya Toys Predalien and Wolf Predator action figures from Alien vs Predator Requiem. So let's begin first by taking a look at the Predalien figure. Taking a look at the head sculpt, you can see just underneath the dome there, you can actually in fact see a skull that's sculpted underneath, under the clear dome. The head crest, there's some more detailing in these side bits, and the dreadlocks that the Predalien has are made of a soft rubbery feeling plastic. Very nice for a figure as small as this. These are about 4 inches or so tall, so I think they're about half the scale of a NECA figure, which is in the 7 or 8 inch scale I believe NECA is. But Hiya Toys or Hiya Toys, I'm not sure how you say it, it's either Hiya Toys or Hiya Toys I think. These are about half the size of a NECA figure. So we just took a look at the face sculpts, didn't we? There's an inner jaw which I think does come in and out pretty far. Very cool. Biomechanical detailing all over the body of this character. I always did like the Predalien character design, apart from the dreadlocks. I think if it didn't have these, because I think they're a bit on the nose. I think if it weren't for them though, this would be like a really good Predalien design and one of my favourite xenomorph types. And you can tell it kind of takes some traits from the Predators, because you've got the mandibles on his face that you can see here, and it has more of the Predator skin tones as well that it shares with the yautja. The arms, the lower torso. On the back it has the dorsal tubes. Bit of a different design than the standard xenomorphs, because it's got 2 big ones and then 2 smaller ones. Has a long tail with a spike at the end. And look at the legs and the feet lastly. So articulation wise, the head can swivel side to side and go backward and forwards and side to side a little bit. The shoulders can go forwards and backwards, outwards and inwards. At the elbow we have a double joint, so can go about 90 degrees, and then a swivel at the wrist, the forearm I should say, and the hand is a ball joint, so it can go a little bit in any direction and can swivel 360 degrees. Same for the other arm, as you'd expect. We do have mid-torso swivel and forward and back side to side. Since it's on the ball it'll go anyway, but only about a couple of millimeters. Hips, we have look like double ball joints, so they can move in any direction, but they can also go down a little bit like that, if you see that from there down to here, so that'll give you a little bit more movement. A rotation at the top of the leg as well. On this side my one is stuck though, and I didn't really want to risk breaking it because that is a very thin peg inside the hip joint, so I didn't bother messing with this side. So just keep that in mind if that happens with yours. And double bend at the knee, can go quite far. And finally a rotation and forward and back at the ankles. And of course a xenomorph got to have a bendy wire tail, doesn't it? Very nice. That runs up to about here, and then the wire ends. So you do get a good amount of the tail is pliable, so you can pose it in any direction that you like. And then accessories that the Predalien comes with are a display base, which is a black with silver highlights. It kind of reminds me of like a floor grating kind of design, kind of like in Aliens inside Hadley's Hope. That's the first thing that came to my mind when I saw this display base. And then we can see we have one peg there, so the figure can be, you see it has holes in both feet, so you just, one of them will go into that. I think this one's actually a little bit too small, so you might want to get a knife and just sort of widen that hole a bit. I think I did that to this side, so this side will go in, yeah, but I had to modify it slightly to get it to fit. But that enables the figure to stand, because without the display stand you can have a pretty hard time getting this figure to stand up, because proportion wise it's not the most stable, and I'd say the leg joints are a little bit too on the loose side, as you can see here. So you'll have to make sure you pose it so it can stand. What I do is I sort of use the tail as a third foot basically, and that'll you know, allow you to get a good pose out of it. So in addition to the stand, you can see these little notches in all the corners. In what we have here are these two little eyepieces. So with those, what you can do is slot them in, and then if you have another figure, these bases can be attached together, so you can have multiple bases. And lastly, we have a additional pair of hands. So these kind of like a the fingers are kind of hooked over on these hands, rather than the sort of neutral hands that are on the figure at the moment. So now moving on to the Wolf Predator. This is the unmasked version that I have. There are a few other versions as well. There's a masked version, which is the one I really wanted, but I couldn't find it for sale. And there is a battle damage version as well, and maybe I think there's a translucent cloaked version of this figure as well. So let me remove the accessories and we'll take a look at the sculpt and paint job of the Wolf Predator. So the head sculpt is really nice on this figure, considering how small it is, and the paint job as well is pretty impressive, I'd say. You know, for how small this figure is, being about half the size of a NECA figure. So yeah, he has was blind in one eye has been painted in onto his left eye. The flesh is kind of the yellow of the Predator, but with a little bit of green around here as well. The mandibles are nicely detailed and painted as well. And we've got soft rubbery plastic dreadlocks, 2 plasma casters, which is one of my favourite things about the Wolf Predator. We has 2 of them. I thought that was really cool. Got a backpack. Is that removable? No, it's not removable. It has a cleaner case, which I think is... No, that's not removable either. That's part of the sculpt. The torso, the arms, chest plate. There's the bandolier with his mines and blue dissolving liquid, which is a separate piece, so it just sort of floats on its own, which is nice. There's the arms. The wrist gauntlet does not open on the left side. On the right side, the wrist blades do extend just a little bit like that, and then they can retract back inside. There's the hands, the loincloth, and the legs, and his feet. So articulation wise, the head, because of this necklace here, the head like will go side to side, but it barely will go up and down because that does block it. I guess you could remove the head and take that off if you really wanted that extra range, but I'm not really that fussed. I'd rather keep it on so it looks more movie accurate. Arms, we have pin socket, so they can go in and out, forwards and back. There's a swivel rotation at the top. Double hinged elbows, these look like. Yep, double hinge. Rotation at the gauntlet. And the hands are ball joints, so a little bit of range, sort of 360 degrees, and the swivel. We have an upper torso ball joint as well, so you can get a little bit of range at the top of the torso. Waist, a little bit of a swivel back and forth and forward and back. Top of the legs will go in and out about that far and forward and back, and we have a rotation as well. Double hinged knees, and the feet will swivel and go back and forwards just a tiny bit. And also the plasma casters are on hinges as well, so they can go back and forwards. And at the top there's a forward and back, and they can swivel, so you can point them more or less in any direction you like. And as for accessories that the Wolf Predator comes with, we have a display base, just like the Predalien. I'll display, I'll demonstrate to you how they fit together. There you go. So if you wanted to have 2 figures, sort of like, if you wanted to have a little diorama of maybe these 2 figures fighting each other, you could attach these 2 bases together and have them on the same base. And what would probably be better for these actually is putting these connectors on lengthways, so you have a little bit more distance between them. We have another couple of these eyepieces, the base connectors, another pair of hands, a combi stick, just an open one though, we don't get a closed one, a AVP style smart disc, or shuriken as it's called sometimes, and a razor net, which is folded up, but there's no extended one. I think what would have been a nice addition is if we got an open whip with a bendy wire inside, so you could move it like with the tail of the Predalien figure. That would be That would have been really cool, I think, if they'd included that. You can see there's a little hook, and on the side of his belt it can be attached like this. If I move his arm out the way, there we go. So that can be attached. And then he can actually hold all his accessories, which I do like. Well, you saw how I had it earlier. He can hold all the accessories, which is cool. So overall, I'm actually very impressed with the quality of the sculpting and paintwork and included accessories, and basically all around very happy with these two figures, considering the price point and the size of them, being as they're, I think these cost me about, might have been about £20–25 each, I think, and then they're about half the size of a NECA figure, but pack in almost fairly close to the amount of detail you would expect from a NECA figure. So I definitely would recommend these Hiya Toys Alien and Predator figures. I was really impressed with them and very happy with my purchase. So I hope you enjoyed the review. Let me know your thoughts if you like these figures, or if you have them already, or if you're going to pick them up yourself. And then if you want to check out some more videos from mine, I'll have my review of the AVP Requiem film on screen now, as well as another action figure review video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.